There we go. And we're just gonna have our recently deleted music. It was around here somewhere. Excuse me. Medicine is not helping enough. Do you work now? Oh, yes. Yes, pray to the gods. The gods helped us. Uka baka uka uka. You know, this is usually the case. You're praying. You're praying to whatever type of force, right? So let's see. Do you work now? Oh, yes. Yes, pray to the gods. The gods helped us. Uka baka. All right. Well, we don't need to repeat that. Let's go and make sure that we are 60 frames per second and that we are on scale. Do re mi fa sol la si. Okay, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. We're not doing that. That is definitely not what we're doing. We're going to definitely hide this. We'll leave that like that. Okay. So, I wanted to go back into excuse me, what we were doing recently in our last conversation, which was environmental science. And I want to beat it like a dead horse. How climate change is still a real thing. Now, I noticed that I only refuted the point that the graph showed, but I want to show further proof of how just how basically like how there's still climate change occurring. So with that being said, let me turn on my Bluetooth and actually put something on, because I know that all of us are a avid listener. All right. So the headphones are the problem, or something else is the problem. I just can't fix it. I want to double check again. I want to have this by itself, so I'm going to have this somewhere else so I can see what's going on. Yep, there we go. All right. All right. Let's make sure that our sound is still working good. This, all right. All right, let's see stealth. Okay, suggest to do something else. All right. All right, so now to beat something like a dead horse, we're going to talk about why climate change is occurring and what is the reason for these, for why scientists believe that climate change is an issue. How can it be an issue? There's no human factor in this, right? And I like to point out that, sure, it may seem that way, right? That it may seem like we can't see the issues, but really it's just a point of perspective. It's how we see the issue. For example, certain people might say, sure, we use a lot of cars, but there could be no evidence. We probably not doing enough to affect the climate. I mean, there's volcanoes, and volcanoes did something, right? Well, or hey, we're doing all this research. Why is it getting affected now? It's not that much of a big issue. And the reason why I say that there is a massive issue in climate is because of one thing. Can anyone guess it? Once I finish typing this, I hope you guys figure it out. Yep, carbon dioxide. It is basically used for everything. Here it is. Just go, hopefully that takes hours to develop. And yep, carbon dioxide. So why is this such an issue? Carbon dioxide is a major issue because it produces in the air, right? It starts to be used by cars, by factories, by different initiatives that want to effectively, basically, just use it for fuel. And the issue is carbon dioxide is a very, very low buoyancy for the oxygen in the air. So as you can know, like oxygen 3 is much lighter than carbon dioxide 2, or CO2, carbon dioxide. And when the issue is that this is a terrible representation of how much is going on. We have one car and one factory. Now, if you were to expand it throughout the whole world and go and look at Europe, Russia, China, India, just all these locations, you will know that this is just massive. Now, sure, there's some obvious natural CO2 that occur with volcanic eruptions that are happening beneath the earth, but there's also volcanoes outside the earth where volcanoes erupt from Hawaii, from different islands. These volcanoes erupt, they push out a lot of carbon dioxide, and then they one make land, or two they or make islands, and then two produce a lot of carbon dioxide, and also destroy a lot of the infrastructure and part of the world, right? So when when we start digging, mining oil, coal, natural gases, and we start using them for our own gain, because it's not just because we use coal to dig out coal. Like we use the same things to get oil out to produce the energy. Oh, let's mine some oil so we can get some oil so we can. It's like it's a habitual circle. It is literally a circle, where it's just showing right here. Now I wanna focus on the left hand side in a bit, but we're gonna focus on the right. So what else is taking a lot of energy, right? What else is taking a lot of carbon dioxide? That'll be houses, that'll be buildings, infrastructures, right? Government locations. We have multiple areas that affect our world. And how I was told is, just because you think you're not doing anything, you are definitely doing something. Sadly, because of our industry, which is the monopolization of moving our industry to other locations to produce our stuff, we basically affect the world. And if you guys want to know about me, who I am, what I am, hi, my name is John. I am a researcher. I do research in environmental science, chemistry, and biology. So if you guys want to talk to me about things you learned about biology, things you learned about chemistry and environmental science, come right through. I just graduated, so I have my biology degree, and it is a nice feeling to, accomplish something. But enough about me. Let's talk about the world. So this is a habitual cycle. Habitual meaning that it's consistent, it's continuous, and it happens again and again and again, right? It's habitual. It's a habit. And the reason why it's a habit is because the earth does it, we do it, and it's kind of like we need to do it because we rather not be behind. So people might be saying, well, obviously, if we don't want to be behind, we have to do this, right? If you want to, like, other countries would be like, oh, I got to catch up, right? I got to catch up. I gotta build my infrastructure as well, or else I'll be left behind and my country will be suffering. And that is also another thing. It's a societal thing. And the best interest that you would have for someone to have these issues is to basically have is to have this issue just be ignored, because industries who ignore it gain more boon from it, right? They gain a boon, and that is, hey, look, I don't need to worry about the issues that are occurring right here because, hey, look, it doesn't hurt my citizens, but really it does. Or they try to ignore it and do campaigns to ignore it. So let's show you first what carbon dioxide actually does. So let's first learn about why is carbon dioxide such a terrible this is actually H2O, CO2, and HCO3, H2CO3. This is carbonic acid. So one of the funny thing is that oxygen is a very attractive thing for other electrons. So these guys come in together really well. But this is just a combination. So we're not going to show you this. What we're going to show you is what carbon dioxide does and what it actually does for like the world and how it is. And if you guys have an issue of me using wiki for our information. Okay. Sorry, I need to drink some water. So, CO2, right? Carbon dioxide is a chemical compound. We're going to read through this with the chemical formula CO2. It is made up of molecules that each have one carbon atom covalently double bonded to two oxygens, right? And here's the funny thing. CO2, as I said, oxygen likes to give hydrogen and then goes the same vice versa to also carbon. So why is carbon connected to these two, right? Well, carbon wants to be connected. Carbon is like the number one thing that's connected to everything. Like it likes to just give its electrons out. Very easy to connect. So oxygen, because it's missing an electron, or wait, it's missing an electron. No, it's giving an electron. So oxygen would be like, here you go. And now it's attached, right? Anyway, the number one thing I want to show you right here is we're going to go here. We're going to go right about here. Right around properties, right? We're going to go to properties. And we're going to erase that. But we're going to go to properties. And we're also going to do O3. What is O3? We got to do this type of signal. It just shows that it's just a, let's go to oxygen. I forgot it's a Y, not a gen 3, right? Oxygen 3. Basically oxygen 3 is ozone, but I wanted to actually get the actual official name. That's why I wrote oxygen 3. So there's oxygen 3. Try oxygen. So that's the actual. Okay. Identifiers, properties, right here. Okay, great. We got here. We got carbon dioxide. Okay. Now, can you tell what's the first thing we should know about our chemicals? And that is the weight. Sure, we should know about the formula, sure. But the second most important thing is the molar mass. Now, the molar mass, if you guys don't know, let's go look it up. It's the chemistry molar mass of a chemical substance is defined as the ratio between the mass and the amount of substance of any sample of the substance. M equals M divided by N. The molar mass is a bulk, not molecular property of a substance. So that is what molar mass is. But specifically, let's go and focus on this right here, this number right here. So the weight of carbon dioxide, or CO2, is 44.009 grams. Why is that important? Well, the weight for oxygen 3 for our ozone is 47.997 grams, right? And you're like, oh, there's nothing of it. What's the point of that, right? How is the weight any issue, right? Well, the weight is not the issue. The weight is not the issue. And the reason why the weight is not the issue is because the weight just tells us how much is in there, right? Like we can the weight is not really the issue, but we should know about this, right? We should know about this only because it helps us understand the chemical much more. So, all right. Now that we know that, we can tell about the odor: low concentration, none, high concentration, sharp, acidic, right? That's another thing we should know about our chemicals. Ours is colorless to pale blue gas, right? We couldn't tell anything, right? Odor, pungent. It's actually kind of funny because pungent is one of the words I wouldn't consider be the first thing that comes up with ozone or our oxygen, but that is our oxygen, right? And if you want the samples, right here, NIOSH, Pocket Guide of Chemical Hazards, National Institute of Occupational Safety Health. Always useful to know about your sources. But let's go specifically with trioxygen or ozone. It has a 2.144 grams per liter at 0 Celsius. Basically, at 0 Celsius, it is 2.144 grams to liters. Why is this important? Let's go to our density here. It looks very confusing, right? But let's break it down. We can even change the math so we can make sure that we can tell what is it. So it says right here that our density is 1,562 kilograms per meter cube. Solid at 1 atom, 100 kPa, and negative 78.5 Celsius, or negative 109.3 Fahrenheit. It's extremely freezing, extremely cold, below zero. Why is this important? Liquid at liquid at around negative 37 Celsius. Gas at one atom is 1.97 kilograms, right? Now, why is this important? This seems very, very convoluted for no reason. Well, let's go even further for this, right? Watch this. Carbon dioxide. Watch this. It's gonna look cool. The team. You're gonna do this. We're gonna do this real quickly. This doesn't seem right. We're gonna do this correct. All right, we're gonna do kilograms, 2 grams. All right, so our kilogram, 2 grams. So it's 1.9 as the thing is showing right here. We're gonna do 1.977, 977. All right, and it's kilograms to cube, right? We're gonna just convert, because for some reason this is why sometimes you don't like wiki. Sometimes it's not consistent with their numbers. I wish they could do that, but also, like, you could see, like, melting point, boiling point. Like, this seems all nice and clean, right? What the fuck? What's this? Like, you could have just separated all these: liquid, gas, solid, right? So one thing is, when it gets to this point, it's liquid. When it gets to this point, it's solid, right? But kilogram, we're going to change it to kilograms, so we know that it's grams. It's 1,977. Why do I need to clarify this? Let's go to this one. We're just gonna do this. Compare to kilograms per meter cube. Yeah, that's not right. That's definitely not correct. This is why I don't like using. Yeah, this is definitely not correct, because this would have to been moved in a way different direction. Hold on. There you go. Has to be moved in a definitely different direction. To a point. I would do the math. I could just draw the math, but I don't have a drawing. I don't have, like, convert. Yeah, this is not correct. This is definitely not correct. Only because I know this is not correct. I definitely feel like this is not correct. Am I doing something wrong? Yeah, I'm definitely doing something. I know that the density basically, the density of carbon dioxide is much heavier than. Basically supposed to be that the density of carbon dioxide much heavier then oxygen 3. Why? Because I don't know why this is tripping me up. Now I gotta do the math. Now I'm getting pissed off because now I gotta do the math. I got it. You see, and then this shows this. This is killing me. See this see how math can make you mad. So 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams, right? Basically meaning that this is extremely heavy. I want to find out. Let's go and do this real quickly. Let's say so is it 197? No, yeah, 19.977 kilograms to meter cube to grams to liter. I don't know why I'm doing this. By what I'm thinking, formula multiply the mass divided by the volume value by 1. No, that's not correct. That's definitely not correct. Anyway, density, this seems incorrect. Why did I use this? Sometimes you can use it. Obviously, no, I'm thinking about it. This bullshit. This is definitely incorrect somehow. It's actually well detailed. Well, the reactions. I'm moving it too fast for you guys to see. Anyway, it's good or bad? It tastes bad. No, it tastes fine. Let's go and find it real quickly. Ozone, carbon dioxide density. Spelled it terribly wrong. Compared to trioxygen. Carbon dioxide and trioxygen, also known as oxygen, have a very different fates in Earth's atmosphere, driven by their suitability, stability, reactivity, major sources, and sink. While both affect Earth's climate and life, CO2 is a longer-lived greenhouse gas that destiny. Oh, see, I thought I wrote density. There we go. There we go. All right, let's go first. Fine. Okay, here it is. 40 molecular weight, 44.01, right? Density around 1.847, 1.977. Also marking, I think that's also the oh look, there's even other ones. Monoxide, dissolidified, doesn't have a density. Fibers in between these two. But I want to find oxygen. Ozone, oxygen, ozone. 14.0.2. Yeah, something's not right. I remember that this is more heavier. This is basically the density, basically. The weight or the density, basically, forces that it doesn't allow the barrier to pass through. So basically, if I were to show you the ozone layer, Earth's layer, going too low. Ugh, Earth's layer. Excuse me. So, right. There was one that was better. I just saw one that was way better. I think it was this one. Yeah. I like that. I guess this is better. I guess. Photos. Okay, right. So the reason why I say that density matters and like why substance is more heavier or lighter can affect this. This is just like annoying. I want to have something that's better than this. Okay, yeah. Oh, actually, this is way better. See this? This you can see like there's mountains. Sure, you can buildings and all that stuff, but like, okay, all right. Obviously, you have the troposphere, right? Tropopause, what's that? Tropopause, stratosphere, stratopause, mesosphere, mesopause, thermosphere, right? And the reason why I'm saying like the density matters, right? This is where the ozone is, right? What happens is you have the ozone layer, right? It's here. It doesn't need to go any higher, any lower. This is what protects us from the sun. It's concentrated here. When we produce our gas and our smoke and our gasoline, it basically hits here and it stops. Now, I remember saying that the carbon dioxide is much heavier. Maybe it's the carbon monoxide that's heavier, but the carbon dioxide is heavy, making it so even lighter. That's what's messing me up. Or is it lighter it is, the harder it is for it to go through? I have to go back to the research of this, but basically I'm gonna have to go back to my book, which I have a whole book over here that I'm gonna go read in a bit. But maybe I even might have to go through a few chapters in weights. But basically, the reason why I am so fixated on this is because let's suggest that you produce enough, right? What happens is that what people don't notice is that heat of the sun goes through. Sun ray, oh, here we go. The sun ray goes through, right? Ozone layer, UVs don't go through, right? But the UVBs go through, and also UVAs. But the UV doesn't go through, right? So these two go through. The heat of the sun goes through, and then it goes like this, bounces out back again. And then you think it's going to go out, but really it's not. And the main reason why is because the ozone layer, the one that protects us from it bouncing, traps the heat. The ozone layer doesn't trap it, but the carbon dioxide that's in the smog traps it, and it just does this. Boing, 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 boing. And then it just continues just bouncing back and forth. The heat doesn't dissipate. The heat cannot dissipate. It can't just dissipate. It just stays in it, right? And that is what is occurring. Hopefully my stream is not that. It doesn't have that much of an issue. Am I having that much of an issue? Nope. Okay, great. Yeah. It's not. It just can't do that. Now, how am I claiming this? Why am I? Oh, here we go. Beautiful. See? Yeah. Visible light, transfer. Ultraviolet light does not transfer. But what it doesn't show you is when that hits, you know, it does? It goes right back. It hits back up. But here's the other thing. There is another smog layer that they don't show you. Now, smog layer, if we were to go and we were to show you what do we show you? It is called the let's say city gray young carbon I don't know why I can't spell dioxide for a reason. For some reason, my brain just turned off and said, you know, you don't know how to spell dioxide. So, clearest function, clearest form is right here, right? Right here is like there's like a little gray fog right there, right? And you can even see it right here a little bit better, right? Grayscale helps a lot in showing it, but the fog goes below the troposphere basically, and heat traps itself, increasing heat, forcing us to basically have to deal with the issues. I think there's one in. I don't need. If we can just find it. I mean, a good example was when there was the trapping of hot air, or the let's go to let's oh my god. How many frames did I drop? How many frames should I drop? Okay. I put two eyes. Look at that. I want to show you something that's even better. I don't care about that. I don't care about the statistics. The statistics is another ad, just cherry on top. It shows. I can just find. All right, excuse me, guys. I got a call. Okay, I'm back. Ugh. There we go. When it gets really bad, you can kind of see all the smog here. And you're like, oh, this doesn't mean anything. This doesn't do anything. One of the highest, basically. I can't even tell. Bitrate is 0. What? I can't even tell. Okay, I don't get it. It's telling me it's good, and then it's telling me it's bad. All right, so let's go back to our research. Let's go back. So if you remember, so right, this looks bad, right? In current history for me in my state, we can go to Canada, New York City, fog, carbon dioxide, carbon, right? Remember this day when it was completely orange? The skies looked like it was in 2077, but like we're in like the bleak future. Like scientists have been saying, like, yo, look, this is bad, right? And we all need an EPN mask. Kids who were born here probably like, oh my god. 128. Excuse me. I don't even know how to find the bit rate. See, this is what happens when a scientist becomes a streamer. They don't know anything. I don't even know how this popped up. Fast. What did I do? I didn't even activate keyframes. Why is this activated? I'm scared. Disable microphone. Default. Okay, how about I put output? Yeah. Audio. Audio bitrate is around 160, so you know, let me see how it looks for you guys. If it doesn't look like it's anything, I don't know. Audio. Guys, tell me if it looks bad or good. I know I'm going to stream for nobody, but excuse me. So much better. Yeah. So yeah. Let's just say like this took how long for this to go away? Like a week or two? If this carbon dioxide was lighter, it would just go all the way up to that stratosphere and to that layer and just go away, right? But no, it didn't. It stayed. And the heat that produced wasn't that good. And you might be saying, come on, it wasn't even any hotter or colder. With our last statistics shown in last episode, we proved that we are doing a man-made climate issue, and a lot of basically a lot of people have been saying like, hey, look, this is a major effect in our world, and we are providing and we are doing this. Now, why am I so confused with this? I think I might have just said it wrong. If technically if the ozone density is heavier, meaning that it's harder for things to pass through it, then that means if carbon dioxide is lighter, that means that if you were to do this, it can't go any higher because this is stopping it. It's like a hand in a fist. It's just, I can't go up. I can't go up. Now, this is just me probably talking out my butt, but if I'm correct, if I'm deducing it correctly, let's go look it up because I gotta do it. Is okay. Yeah, of course. I can't type anything in. Is ozone, is the zone denser than dioxide, and if so, does it mean not pass through the ozone layer? Yes, the ozone is slightly denser than the carbon dioxide with molecular weights of about 48 grams a mole for oxygen and 44 grams moles for carbon dioxide. However, a gas density does not prevent it from mixing with the other gases. Instead, turbulence and atmospheric mixing keep ozone disrupted throughout the stratosphere. Rather than settling, ozone is not UV radiation, and once there is a quickly destroyed by other atmospheric components. I want to make sure that me not tucking out my butt. With the ozone hole allows you keep more CO2 in. Oh, look at that! Let's go read this real quickly. I know this is just people talking, but let's go read what they say here. Everything has and has an escape velocity that you need to overcome before you can escape the planet's gravity, and the escape into free space. This escape velocity is a function of how strong gravity is for that particular object. Earth is about 8 times more than the moon, if I remember correctly, or yeah. Very light species like helium can reach the upper atmosphere from there, have enough speed to escape. When helium is released on Earth, that's it. Eventually, it will fly away permanently. But even hydrogen can barely reach escape velocity. And for anything heavier like CO2, it just does not have the thermal energy to escape. Oh, okay, so let's go further into this. Another thing about the ozone layer, we call it a layer, but there is actually extremely little ozone in the layer. I recently read if it were all collected, placed at ground level, it would be a layer only a few millimeters thick. That's true. The actual ozone content, that makes, yeah, I know that the actual ozone content in the layer is very small. It is not active as a physical barrier. It is important because ozone is able to absorb harmful ultraviolet light from the sun. It's kind of acting as a gigantic UV filter for the planet. Excuse me. So basically, yeah. So I guess that if I'm correct in how it was supposed to be stated, that because this is the molar mass, molar weight, and the density does not allow it to escape Earth's gravity. Same thing goes for the ozone and the carbon dioxide. Get both of them on this. It'd be awesome. Ozone. Okay, I got monoxide. But yeah, so imagine that. I mean, the mixture. Okay, so basically the mixture doesn't matter. So, but it's the how heavy, how far it can go through. I would like to also go into another thing. How much we're producing. How much fuel and stuff we're producing. Because imagine just the amount, right? Imagine the amount of just carbon dioxide in the world at the moment. I mean, we like to compare like, oh, we're having so many health issues, right? Just imagine how much we're having right now because of this. Like, I believe last time I talked to one of my professors, he says that it causes an increase in asthma, causes an increase in just the effects of just someone having a disease, certain diseases. So like imagine there's a crazy picture of a how small was it? It was like an extremely small particle, right? Entering in, hitting a cell, hitting a DNA cell. It's like so tiny, it's so minuscule that it can hit a DNA cell, destroy your DNA, and you just gotta live with it because you don't even know. And you go past it every day. Now imagine there's like millions per particle. There's like billion per particle, or what's it? BP billion per billion BP BPB. I think it's just incredibly thick. Now also guys, I'm gonna be like basically collecting this I'm gonna collect the 3 parts, and then I'm gonna combine it together. But yeah, this is also me learning about like just I thought that it was supposed to be heavier, density heavier, but it's wrong. It's actually escape velocity. So you see, a misconception has been learned, and that's the main part about this. Molecular weight is 44.001. Density is 1.97 977. And then you can go to the ozone, and it's heavier, right? And you're like, oh, I thought it was. Well, actually, it can go higher. I guess the escape velocity can go higher, and then carbon dioxide can't go that high. Sure, there's not really like a mixing, but there's levels to it. Also, there's also just breaking them apart. I forgot to mention this part out. I'm gonna have to put this in maybe for next time, but like how long it takes for that just to break. That just to like, break apart. You can't just have a chemical and think that it's never going to dissipate, right? There's a carbon date, right? It is carbon dating. Carbon date, chemical. I don't know why I'm spelling everything incorrectly. Chemical break down. So carbon dating is a carbon radio process of radioactive decay. Yeah, carbon dating. Okay, carbon dating. Yeah, so of carbon dioxide. Yeah. Okay. Carbon dating doesn't have. Where is the thing for it to? It's not radio decay then. What is it called again? I'm trying to find the thing where it's like how long it takes from carbon dioxide to just break away from from just absorb into the atmosphere, change its form. I gotta remember it. I'm gonna come back to it, but yeah. Hey, how you doing? I'm trying to make a video for my family to basically explain why. Basically, climate change, the reason what's going on with climate change, why it's so misconception. There's so many research out there, like information that, misinformation. I did a part one of my last stream. I'm doing another one now. Yeah. Yeah. So let's go to carbon dioxide. Let's no wait. I got it. I got it now. How long does it take to down because all you need is a tree, Another done is in the atmosphere over different time scales, with about 50% gone in 30 years, another 30% in centuries, and a remaining portion taking tens of thousands of years or more to dissipate. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not crazy. I knew that was this. So why does it take this long? Right? Why does it take so long to break it down? Main reason why is because we don't have trees. I think there was a beautiful example. I wish I shouldn't have deleted it, but there was a tree and it absorbs and gets back released with oxygen, and then the trees die. But the thing is, people don't know how long it takes for trees to actually like start producing stuff. So it takes a while, right? It takes an enormous amount of time for why is this like this? I don't like it like this. And it turns off. And it turns off. Yeah. Nice. It still does it. Still does it. Still does it. I'm gonna have to buy a new cable. Definitely gotta increase the. Let's see how I look. Definitely. Okay. Where have you been? Yeah, that's why I could do it. All right. I wish I had my friend. I would love to bring him in to talk about this because he actually has a major. I have a major in biology. I can talk to you about biology all day, but environmental science is something I've done. I've worked under him for joint task force, but with some research. But he basically can explain this way better than me. And I think the funny thing is he will be annoyed for me having to re-explain because he talked to me about this. I talked to him before for doing all this. So he's like, "Gotta go through this all over again." Probably a terrible teacher. Probably a terrible student. But yeah, that's all for today. I hope you have a great day. It's at the 55 marker. That means that is enough, or no, an hour marker, and that is enough for me today. For today. So until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the last final part where I'll explain to you about biology and trees, which is something I actually know more about. Oh, oh, talk about coughing. Anyway, I'm doing it, Rob.